Marcia provided us a list of 8 key principles for community college trustees. And when you read through the list, they're just basic. They become ingrained or should become ingrained in every trustee. And as Helen said, the most important job is hiring a new president, whether you're happy about the prospect or not. But along with that goes support for the president once the president is in place. And that means to support the president in public. If there are disagreements, handle them within the board and with the president privately. But when the consensus is done and the president, who's in charge of the institution, moves forward, the board should be behind the president 100%. Community college boards are unlike four-year schools and private schools where boards of trustees may only meet quarterly. You all know that we meet once a month. And our job literally is to represent all of the taxpayers in our area and to work for the very best for the students at our community college. It's very important. We support the president. We advocate for the college and its budget. And that some years can mean monthly meetings with freeholders who are responsible ultimately or who have the final say on approvals for the county portion of the college's budget. And sometimes you'll get a freeholder board that wants much more input. Other times they'll be more likely to say, you did a good job. This is what we like to hear. You did a good job, so keep going, and we'll see you at the Board of School Estimate meeting. But the Board of School Estimate meeting is like the tip of an iceberg. And beneath it all is the continual attention to the budget by the board and by the administration of the college. Number 3 says that community college boards of trustees must manage themselves and ensure that members are fulfilling their roles and participating in an appropriate manner. And the very first thing is that community college trustees should get to all their committee meetings and all their board meetings unless there's some emergency. Again, because we meet every month, it may be more difficult for some of us than for trustees at say, a Drew or Fairleigh Dickinson or whatever. But we accepted the responsibility when we accepted the appointment. And this is a big part of our responsibility. The Board of Trustees governs the college through board policies, while the president and his administrative staff are responsible for the operations of the college. And at the recent ACCT meeting in San Diego, there were a number of sessions on board policy and how different boards in different parts of the country meet the challenge of setting policy, adhering to policy, being transparent about the policy and the delivery of the policy. Hugely important for trustees. And if trustees don't get to their meetings, they have no input into what the policies will be. And they don't have a touchstone for how the policies are being carried out in the college. Trustees should consult the Middle States Commission on Higher Education accrediting standards on the importance of good trusteeship. Now, how many of you have been through a Middle States evaluation? Recently, yeah. they're getting increasingly rigorous. That's a good word for it. Increasingly rigorous. And it's very difficult to come out of one without some kind of little letter or something that they'd like you to pay more attention to, at least one of them. I have to say that the last one that Raritan Valley went through, we got a clean bill of health all the way around, no letters. Again, I think that was, a matter of board policy, strong administrative leadership, working together to see the process through from beginning to end. And it was a lengthy process that brought all of the stakeholders in the college together. We trustees on our boards, independent bodies governing the community college. And by law, our responsibility is to protect the best interests of the college. I said before that our aim is to do best by the college so that it can do best by the students who come to us. And therefore, we have to be independent. Yes, we have to talk we do talk to the freeholders about budgets, but we have to be honest with them and tell them what's possible, what's not. You know, what steps the school is taking to meet their requirements and what we cannot do. But that's just one example of the board being an independent body for the best interests of the college. Responsibilities by law include defining the mission of the college, periodic event for most colleges, hiring the president, setting tuition, which is a challenge in the last several years, at least the last several years, and approving budgets, new programs, and facilities plans. And we're in a lovely facility here that is the result of that sort of exercise of responsibility on the part of trustees and administration. And finally, the eighth one is that trustees should abide by the institutional code of ethics approved by the New Jersey Commission on Higher Education. And there's a web link for that, as well as their own institution's code of ethics. And I have to say, in my years on the Raritan Valley Board, that trustees have, if there's been an issue, it's been an issue of ignorance of some thing at the school. Obviously, when you talk about meeting the press, it is the board chair who speaks for the board, no one else. And that's where sometimes the reporters used to kind of get you. Although newspapers now have many fewer reporters than they used to have, so we're spared some of that, that assault. So these are the 8 key principles. I think everyone up here at the table agrees that these are the ones that the bedrock of trustee participation in the governance of our community colleges.